Hi there, hello and good evening friends. The fact that you are watching News Sunday shows how seriously you take what's happening around you and in the country. So let's have an hour of engaging news conversation. French authors Dominique Lapierre and Larry Collins wrote a famous book on Bengal, friends. It was called The City of Joy. They also wrote Is Paris Burning? Today they might have swapped the titles and called the former Is Bengal Burning? Which it is. I'm not saying this. You have watched it over the last 48 hours. Those pictures tell a tale. That of planned arson, orchestrated violence and targeting of minorities. Yes, minorities are being targeted in Bengal and we have to raise our voice in their defense like we always should. Like we always do. Only that the roles have flipped in Murshidabad and other towns of Bengal. It's the Hindus on the defensive because they are minority there. But it does not end there. The state has gone AWOL. There are pickets and blockades beyond which the police force is not able to enter. At least till the High Court intervened, the writ of the state had vanished from these pockets. Calm has prevailed over the last 24 hours. But how tenuous is it? More importantly, there are constitutional questions. Does the Parliament of India has sovereign function to enact laws? Should Supreme Court be intimidated by street power? Do Pasmanda Muslims have a voice or not? How long can this be allowed? That's tonight's burning question, friends. Headlines first. Violence continues in Murshidabad against Waqf Act. BJP claims over 400 Hindus forced to flee their own homes in the aftermath of the violence.
Hindus are tortured, Hindus are shelterless. We want President's rule on the eve of the assembly election.
BJP hits out at Mamata government, demands President's rule in West Bengal and imposition of AFSPA in affected districts.
लड़ाई जारी रहेगी, खत्म नहीं, और जो कुर्बानी देनी पड़े पहले भी दी गई है, लड़ना पड़ेगा, लड़ेंगे, हम अकेले नहीं हैं इसमें.
Jamiyat Ulema and President Maulana Mahmood Madni justifies violence. His protest should have started the moment the bill was passed.
अमेंडमेंट जो गवर्नमेंट करी है जिससे वक्फ को बर्बाद करने की पूरी कोशिशें की जा रही है, हम इसके खिलाफ एहतजाज कर रहे हैं. ऑल इंडिया मुस्लिम पर्सनल लॉ बोर्ड ने जो फैसला लिया है हम उसकी तायीद करते हैं.
AIMIM Chief Asaduddin Owaisi announces protest plan on April 19 with AIM PLB, Congress, PRS, YSRCP to join. And finally, 10 people arrested over the Hanuman Jayanti stone pelting incident in Madhya Pradesh's Guna. Security increased as tensions flare up after violence. All right, friends, we are discussing Bengal, what has happened in Murshidabad over the last 48 hours. We are also discussing the reactions that have come in, and we are having a larger conversation on whether the Parliament of India has sovereign function to enact laws and whether that should be respected. If you have to protest, how those protests have to take place. Look at the facts of the last 24 hours, and then I come back on the other side for a conversation.
Murshidabad has turned into a war zone. Violent mobs attacked Hindu homes, pelted stones, and set property on fire. The BJP has called it nothing short of a planned anti-Hindu riot. With no visible police response, the BJP has now demanded Armed Force Special Power Act and President's rule in West Bengal.
Trinamool is anti-national. Mamata Banerjee is completely anti-national. She did it to save her vote bank. The Hindus are tortured. Hindus are shelterless. We want president's rule on the eve of the assembly election.
Bengal LOP Shuvendu Adhikari has alleged that more than 400 Hindus from Dhuliyan in Murshidabad were driven out of their homes by fear of religiously driven violence. Republic Bangla is the only network that is fearlessly reporting from ground zero to expose the truth of the Murshidabad violence.
इस वक्त हम लोग हैं मुर्शिदाबाद जिले के अंदर जो साजू मोड़ पे और यहीं पे ये वक्फ अमेंडमेंट लॉ के खिलाफ विरोध प्रदर्शन करते हुए कुछ एंटी नेशनल्स ने पूरा तोड़ मोड़ किया। यहाँ पे आग जलाया गया था और अभी देखिए यहाँ पे बंगाल पुलिस की जो कॉम्बैट फोर्स है, जो स्ट्राइको फोर्स है, इन लोगों को डिप्लॉय किया जा रहा है।
On the other hand, UP CM Yogi Adityanath has issued a sharp warning saying what the TMC won't. Hindus are under attack in Bengal.
हिंसा में आपने देखा होगा कब पश्चिमी बंगाल में मुर्शिदाबाद 3 हिंदुओं की निर्मम हत्या हुई, उनके घरों से खींच करके उनकी हत्या हुई। और ये सब कौन है? ये सभी वही दलित हैं, वही वंचित हैं, वही गरीब हिंदू हैं जिसको इस जमीन का सर्वाधिक लाभ मिलने वाला है।
Even more shocking, Jamaat-e-Ulema President Maulana Mahmood Madani justified the violence in a bite which is now going viral. He said, and I quote, "Protest should have started the moment the bill was passed, indicating the violence was not a reaction but part of a plan."
कि ये प्रोटेस्ट हिंसक हो रहा है, तो प्रोटेस्ट हो कहाँ रहा है ये तो बता दीजिए। हो कहाँ रहा है प्रोटेस्ट? कैसी बात आप कर रही हैं? रुकना, जितना रुके हुए हैं इतना रुकना नहीं चाहिए था, रुकना ही गलत हो रहा है। क्यों मुर्शिदाबाद जल रहा है? कौन रिस्पॉन्सिबल है इसके लिए? मुसलमान को, इसके लिए भी मुसलमान को रिस्पॉन्सिबल बना देंगे आप?
As the BJP demands President's Rule and Armed Force Special Power Act and the opposition blames diversion tactics, one thing is clear: Bengal needs calm, accountability and justice.
All right, welcome back, friends. On this debate tonight, the burning question, we have Adil Hassan. He is AIMIM national spokesperson. He is joining us live from Patna. We have Tausif Khan, advocate, and he practices in Kolkata. He leans towards the Trinamool Congress. He has to defend the Mamata government tonight. We also have Atikur Rahman, Islamic scholar, joins us live from Mumbai, is the rational voice, but gives in the Islamic and Muslim view on debates. On the other side, we have Desh Ratan Nigam, advocate, RSS leaning, live from Delhi tonight. We have Sharik Adib Ansari, National Working President of All India Pasmanda Muslim Mahaz. He is with me in the studios. And as is my habit of letting the opposition open the conversation, sir, since BJP is in opposition in Bengal, I want to begin with Dr. Ajay Alok. He is national spokesperson of the party. He's joining us live from Delhi. Dr. Alok, your MPs, 2 of them have written to the Union Home Ministry to impose AFSPA in affected districts. And your party leader of opposition in Bengal, Shuvendu Adhikari, and as also your party president, Shukanto Majumdar, they have demanded that president's rule be imposed. Is it just political rhetoric? Since you are in power at the center, even if you are in opposition in Bengal, what stops you from going ahead, doing it?
Well, definitely politically, the position on the ground is always reported by the party workers who are actively working on the ground. And right now you don't have to look, even if you're not on the ground, sitting on the TV channel, you can look what's happening in Murshidabad. It's not looking like it's a part of India, right? In India, we have seen Kerala, we have seen Sambhal, we have seen multiple places like Malda, we have seen 24 Parganas, where we have seen Hindus migrating because of the pressure. Now you can see live view. So, belonging to that state, the state president and the state party leadership, they have urge the center with some demand, which are rightfully justified. And don't forget, Calcutta High Court directed the central government to install paramilitary forces. You can just understand the severity of the situation. When Hindus' shops were targeted, okay, this is Hindu shop, burn it. No, not this one. Leave it. This is apna hai. When this kind of targeting starts happening, you have to feel that you are living in this country, right? You are not alien to this country. You are not foreigner to this country. So if they are raising this demand, this is not wrong. Let the central government go through it, seek a report from the state and from the governor, and the central government will take the right decision in the due course of time.
Okay.
We can't let another Srinagar happening or another valley happening in country.
Okay. Tausif, I want to get you in on this now. You know, it's been about 12 hours since the central forces came in on the instructions of the Calcutta High Court, and it's calm all the way. It's calm is prevailing, peace is prevailing, you know. So obviously the differentiator between violence, arson and calm were the central forces, which means that the state police was either asked not to do anything, or is so demoralized they did not do anything, or maybe they were instructed not to do anything, Tausif. And that's really bad. It's unfortunate.
You see, Murshidabad is a place where Hindus and Muslims have been living peacefully. This is a stronghold of Trinamool. There is no, in this entire area, all 3 seats, MP seats, are won by the Trinamool. And there were protests, and there were these troublemakers who started this violence. Police have been clearly saying from last 2-3 days not to engage in rumor mongering. On the eve of Hanuman Jayanti, there are Shobha Yatra taken out across the country, and somehow there is an anti-group which is seen that they support Waqf law. There is a huge opposition against the Waqf law. The government knew it. We have seen in the parliament debate, 233 MP in Lok Sabha and 95 MP in Rajya Sabha voted against the passing of the Waqf law. Yet the BJP government has forcefully passed this law. And therefore, naturally, there's going to be protest. Yes, I agree that no protest should turn violent, and those responsible in violence have to be dealt with in accordance with law.
Okay,
therefore,
you are making it look so natural, sound so natural, Tausif. You are saying that protests are natural. You are saying that, okay, violence should not have happened, but it has happened. You are saying troublemakers, you are not specifying who are these troublemakers. And you are saying the parliament should not have enacted the law. I mean, who are you to guide whether parliament should enact a law or not? Parliament has a sovereign function. Parliament is the voice of the nation. Parliament is the topmost panchayat of the country. People deliberate and decide. The party in power has the mandate to decide what to do and not to do. Who are you to decide? Who are these protesters to decide whether the parliament should be allowed to enact a law or not?
First of all, it is highly mistaken to say that parliament is supreme. No, that is not the case.
I think
Constitution is supreme.
And parliament is supreme in its, so far as the sovereign function of enacting laws is concerned. Parliament enacts laws. Tausif, you are a lawyer.
Let me complete. You have asked me a question. Let me complete. It's a very important question you have asked. The parliament is guided by the constitution. Any law which violates the fundamental
and who decides what is in the constitution
cannot be passed by the parliament.
And who decides what is in the constitution?
The constitution
street,
is above parliament.
or specifically the Muslim street, or the Supreme Court, because Jamiyat-e-Ulema and President Madni says that we will not listen to the Supreme Court, we will not wait for the judicial process to go on, we will come to the streets. So the street decides what is law, what is constitution, or the parliament decides the law and the Supreme Court decides what's in the constitution and what's constitutional.
No, the amendment is challenged in the Supreme Court. Obviously, Supreme Court will decide on that, and we have full faith that Supreme Court will declare the law ultra-virus. So far, the street protest is concerned, the Constitution gives us right in democratic setup. to protest
100%.
on the street. Yes, laws are the ethos of the community. The law, whether it is desirable or not, is decided on the street. In the street, people can express their mind. Yes, it has to be peaceful. So far, any protest that turns violent, I do not support that. Constitution does not authorize that.
Okay,
Therefore,
you
police
have conceded.
taken action. More than 150 arrests have been made, including those who indulge in rumor mongering. And there are elements from the opposition party, including BJP and Bajrang Dal and RSS.
Okay,
who
let Ajay
engages
Alok
in
respond because you are making a
rumor-mongering.
direct charge against the BJP. Ajay Alok, quickly, before I open the debate. He's saying that these are troublemakers and some of them are backed by the BJP or perhaps in cahoots with the BJP.
First of all, let me remind Tausif that Calcutta police, West Bengal police have been reminded by the center and the intelligence sources that extremist element from Bangladesh, especially Lashkar-e-Tahriri, plans to disrupt the state. Nothing has been done. This whole arson and violence has been carried at the behest of TMC, and the police were instructed not to do anything because for the last 2 days continuous violence, police never fired a shot even in the air. Forget about catching the culprits. Out of which 18 West Bengal police, 18, I'm putting the number, 18 West Bengal police have been admitted in the hospital. 7 of them are in ICU. I won't be surprised that there's going to come a time, because we are sitting on a volcano when it erupts, when the state police will revolt against this TMC. Because the kind of appeasement they are doing, they are not even caring for the police person's life. And they are such a shameless fellow that in front of them that this migration is happening. And Tausif is yet to respond and is taking, okay, protest should not turn violent. Constitution. Which constitution says that you can have a violent protest? Which constitution says that you can raise Palestinian flags? Which constitution says that you can pelt stones? Which constitution says you can murder people?
Tausif, I don't have independent verification of this, but Ajay Alok is saying that 7 policemen are in ICU. They are critical, 18 are injured. Obviously, they have been stone-pelted or they have been hit. These protests were not at all peaceful. Tausif, what you are talking about, protests being constitutional, protests being legitimate, it's not legitimate if you are protesting in a manner, Tausif, that 7 cops land in ICU.
You're right, and that is absolutely unfortunate and not acceptable. It is right.
Then who's doing it? Then who's doing it? Then who's doing it? And in whose name is this being done?
And they cannot fire a shot. They cannot fire a shot even after being hit.
Now, who is responsible for this? Why is the central government, BJP, Modi government?
You are responsible. Your government is responsible because you are abetting it. You are aiding it.
To the nail. Why this forcefully pushing this law, which is going to take away the lands,
forcefully pushing the law, forcefully pushing the law, and that legitimizes this violence, that legitimizes targeting of police, that legitimizes targeting of minorities there, Tausif?
Sorry, I did not get your question.
I was asking, you are saying that the parliament is I want to understand, what is parliament forcing this law? We have another lawyer in the panel, Deshratan Nigam. You know, whenever reforms have happened, maybe some communities have liked, not liked, but then the sovereign function of parliament to enact the law has been respected. You know, you can protest.
Waqf is not about community. Let me correct you. Waqf is not about a community.
Parliament
Waqf is not about community.
But an impression is being given that Waqf is about the community. Waqf is an impression is being given that an entire community is targeted. Let me get in others. Okay.
That's the plot. That's the plot.
Interesting conversation now. Okay.
It's an administrative problem.
Okay. Now, so when you say a community is being targeted, as Tausif says, Ajay Alok says no. Let me get this to Adil Hassan and Sharik Adib Ansari. Can I go to Adil Hassan first, and then I'll come to Mr. Ansari. Adil Hassan, you say that the entire community is being targeted. The government says that this is an administrative matter. This is about corruption. This is about management. this is about something which does not find mention directly, at least in the Quran. Adil Hassan.
सबसे पहले मैं आज जलियांवाला बाग के शहीदों को खराज अकीदत पेश करता हूँ और इस शेर से आपको वो सभी का खून शामिल है इस मिट्टी में, किसी के बाप का हिंदुस्तान थोड़ी है, राहत इंदौरी साहब का मशहूर शेर है। और ये डायरेक्ट रिलीजियस मैटर पे बीजेपी का इंटरफेरेंस है। चंद्रबाबू नायडू एक ऑर्डिनेंस लाते हैं, एक रूल लाते हैं कि तिरुपति बालाजी मंदिर में कोई नॉन मुस्लिम नहीं रहेगा। मुझे कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, आप नहीं लाएं। वक्फ बोर्ड में आप जबरदस्ती किसी कम्युनिटी, हिंदू इंडोनमेंट बोर्ड पे कोई मुस्लिम नहीं रह सकता है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, हम कभी नहीं एतराज किए। आपने जबरदस्ती बोध गया ट्रस्ट में बुद्धिस्ट को छोड़ के नॉन हिंदू कम्युनिटी से ले आए, उनका प्रोटेस्ट आप नहीं सुनिएगा। शिरोमणि अकाली दल में जो एसजीपीसी है उसमें आप किसी दूसरे को नहीं ला सकते। वक्फ मेरी संपत्ति है, मेरे बाप दादा ने दी है, मेरे बाप दादा ने मस्जिद के लिए, कब्रिस्तान के लिए, ईदगाह के लिए, इमामबाड़ा के लिए, खानकाहों के लिए दिया। आप क्यों बेचैन हैं? आप क्यों आज सुधार करना चाहते हैं? आप 20 साल में, आप 11 साल से सरकार में हैं, 20 स्टेट में आपकी सरकार है, एक मॉडल स्टेट बता दीजिए जिसमें आपने वक्फ के लिए कुछ किया है। बिहार में अजय आलोक बिहार से आते हैं, 2005 से नीतीश कुमार का एक ही आदमी वक्फ बोर्ड का चेयरमैन है। बतला दे वो वक्फ की कितनी संपत्ति को इंक्रोचमेंट हटाया है। अख्तर इमाम साहब ने अभी असेंबली में उठाया, उनका घर बाढ़ है, फतवा के पास एक इमामबाड़ा और कब्रिस्तान को कब्जा हो रहा था, अख्तर इमाम साहब ने असेंबली में उठाया, तब इनके चेयरमैन और मंत्री जगे। अभी 5 दिन पहले की बात है, रमजान की बात है। तो ये झूठी अफवाह। और जबकि हिंदू इंडोनमेंट बोर्ड को 12.5 लाख एकड़ जमीन है और 5 स्टेट में, आंध्रा, तेलंगाना, तमिलनाडु, उड़ीसा और आपका कर्नाटका में, उस पर कोई इंटरफेरेंस नहीं। आप मेरी संपत्ति में अपना दिमाग क्यों लगाते हैं? और सबसे बड़ी बात, हमारे सीईओ जो रहता है,
आप देश का हिस्सा नहीं है,
ज्वाइंट सेक्रेटरी रैंक का ऑफिसर रहता है, हम पूरा हिस्सा है।
तो अलग-अलग की क्यों बात हो रही है? ये हैंड्स ऑफ क्यों?
अभी
जो आप कह रहे हैं उसमें आपने ये कह दिया कि हैंड्स ऑफ, ले योर हैंड्स ऑफ, डोंट इंटरफेयर। आप ही कह रहे हैं, यानी कि आपको देश से जुड़ना नहीं है, आपको अलग रहना है। तो ये विचार जो है 1955 से चला आ रहा है, 1947 से पहले तो मैं छोड़ ही देता हूं। कोर्ट बिल आए तब भी कहा कि नहीं हमें छोड़ दीजिए, फिर शाहबानो हुआ तब भी कहा हमें छोड़ दीजिए, फिर शायरा बानो हुआ तब भी कहा हमें छोड़ दीजिए। फिर तो ये आप अलग ही करना है, अलग ही रहना है, कुछ समझना नहीं है।
सुन लीजिए, सुनिए।
फिर आप कहते हैं कि जुड़ते नहीं है, फिर आप कहते हैं कि ये देश हमको एक साथ ट्रीट नहीं करता है।
भाजपा में नहीं जाएंगे। You will allow me to speak or
yes, I am allowing. I am just countering you with some facts. Please go ahead.
So allow me to speak. Just have patience to listen me. allow me to speak. मैं नीतीश कुमार नहीं हूं जो मिट्टी में मिल जाऊंगा, भाजपा में नहीं जाऊंगा। मैं नीतीश कुमार नहीं हूं आरएसएस मुक्त भारत बनाऊंगा। मैं चंद्रबाबू नायडू नहीं हूं जो राहुल गांधी के साथ आंध्रा पर, तेलंगाना में प्रचार करते हैं और नरेंद्र मोदी और अमित शाह को क्या नहीं बोला हूं। हम वो नहीं है, हम उसूल की राजनीति करते हैं। हमारे कम्युनिटी के साथ
अगर आपने एक शेर के साथ शुरू किया था, मुझे भी एक शेर याद आ रहा है, चांद के साथ कई दर्द पुराने निकले, कितने गम थे जो तेरे गम के बहाने निकले। हाँ, बट सी द पॉइंट इज, देश रत्न निगम,
ये जलियांवाला बाग, ये जो आप बोल रहे हैं ना, आप नीतीश कुमार, आप सुन, मेरा वक्फ की संपत्ति है। आप अपने सबसे बड़े कॉर्पोरेट घराने को, आपके दोस्त को बचाने के लिए,
आदिल हसन, टेल मी, डू यू रिप्रेजेंट ऑल मुस्लिम्स ऑफ द कंट्री?
कुछ नहीं दिया।
आदिल हसन, टेल मी, डू यू रिप्रेजेंट ऑल मुस्लिम्स ऑफ द कंट्री? Adil Hassan, please tell me, do you represent, are you the voice of all Muslims of the country?
We represent every community of the country.
No, you are talking only about Muslims. You are saying hands of the religion, hands of the people.
Every section, every caste, every creed.
No, आप तो सिर्फ अपनी बात कर रहे हैं ना वक़्फ़ की.
Every citizen of this country.
नहीं, अभी आप वक़्फ़ की जब बात कर रहे हैं तो सिर्फ अपनी बात कर रहे हैं. मेरे साथ.
It is directly related to me.
With me.
It is directly related to me.
Okay, let me now get in Atikur Rahman as also Sharik Adib Ansari. First, I'll go to Sharik Adib Ansari.
Just 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Okay, quickly.
Allow me 10 seconds. My leader raised 640 questions in parliament of health, education, hospital, sanitization, infrastructure. It relates to 140 crores of Indian. But this WAF is directly related to our community.
Exactly, and we are discussing WAF today. And since you are saying that you represent the Muslim community as a monolith, I want other voices also on this debate, which includes Atikur Rahman.
What about Sabarmila judgment? You ask. BJP, what about Sabrimala judgment?
I am coming to that. I am coming to that. I am coming to that.
We have
Okay.
all right.
I am coming to that. I am coming to that. I am coming to that. Okay. Atikur Rahman and Sharik Adib Ansari. Now, Mr. Ansari first. Mr. Ansari, you represent the All India Pasmanda Muslim Mahas. Please tell us, and as I said, he is a voice, a Muslim voice, which is in favor of the Waqf Amendment law. What is it in the law which makes you, as a Pasmanda Muslim, agree with it, to which Mr. Adil Hassan is not agreeing?
See, this law comes and goes. You can amend the law, then you can reject the law. This is just a law.
Yeah.
It is being enforced now. It's incumbent on every Indian citizen to abide that law, because we believe in democracy. We are a secular state, a republic. So basically, the Waqf law, which is now being enacted, is concerning management of the Waqf properties.
Yeah.
Governance of the Waqf properties.
No, I know this, but Adil Hassan is saying the government has no role in it. It is to do with the Muslim community, and only the community should be handling it, like in the case of Tirupati, like in the case of SGPC.
Muslims are the citizens of this country. Don't they?
Yeah.
They are. So every citizen, every law is embedded on the citizens of India, and particularly on the Muslims, because Waqf is a tradition.
नहीं, आप मुझे अभी भी समझा नहीं पा रहे. What is it that makes Adil Hassan so agitated in this law, about which you are absolutely okay?
Because the things that they were managing, now we will going to manage that. The 88% of the Indian Muslims are the part of the law now.
ये कैसे हो रहा है? ये पहले क्यों नहीं था? Why was it not there earlier?
I'm telling you, just give me time.
That's a very important differentiation.
We were the part of the JPC. We were the part of the.
मैं आता हूँ, आदिल हसन साहब आता हूँ आपके पास. एक बार सुन लूँ उनको. हाँ.
We were the part of the JPC. JPC invited us. We presented a presentation to 3.5 hours to the honorable chairman and honorable respected members of all political parties. They asked us questions and we put out the objections.
No, why are you saying that Pasmanda Muslims are now part of it while earlier they were not? Why were they not part of it earlier?
Because they were not part of it, because Ashraf community of India was managing it, because the Waqf lands and his dargahs, masjid, imam badas, Karbalas, Yatim Khanas, everything was managed by this 12% of the Indian population, that is called Ashraf Muslims.
Absolutely no representation.
No representation. Even now, you just ask the All India Muslim Personal Law Board to present the number of.
What is the constitution of AIM PLB, for example? Is it 100% Ashrafs?
It's Ashraf. It's
100%.
100%.
Like no Pasmanda
You
Muslim.
tell me, ask honorable members of the All India Muslim Personal Law Board to give me 3 names or 2 names or 1 name in the top league. If they have 80, any Pasmanda Muslim representing them? No.
Atikur Rahman, and these are, remember, Muslim voices, responsible Muslim voices, and very integrated Muslim voices.
To make a point, this law is due to this. It's a management of the Waqf properties.
Yeah.
Now Mutawallis will be from Pasmanda Muslims.
Yeah. So the issue,
women will be there, marginalized communities will be there. It is just management of the Waqf. Nothing to do. Nothing is going to from the Muslims.
Adil Hassan का disagreement इस बात पे भी है. He is also disagreeing with the fact that why should government have its nominees and who can be non-Muslims?
Government is any government, whether it's Congress government or BJP government or any government. Government runs the country, na? It's under the Constitution of India. Constitution is supreme, absolutely. The Parliament enacts the law.
Okay, let me take this to Atikur Rahman. Atikur Rahman, you heard both the voices. Adil Hassan says hands off, no interference. Like in the case of code bills, like in the case of Shabano, like in the case of Saira Bano, just lay your hands off. We are on our own, do not interfere. And on the other, we have with me Mr. Ansari, Atikur Rahman. He is saying that this is reformative, transformative law, because after this, Pasmanda Muslims, who constitute 88% majority of Muslims in India, have a voice now, which they were being denied till now. Atik, how do you respond to this?
For your kind information, Mr. Sharik, the laws passed by the Parliament can be declared ultra-virus if they are unconstitutional by the Supreme Court And this is the core issue why we are going to the Supreme Court. Secondly, you are asking the names of members in the Waqf board from the Pasmanda community. May I ask you one thing?
Not Waqf board,
So far,
Indian All India Muslim Personal Law Board में कितने पसमानदा मुसलमान हैं बता दीजिए.
Good. Okay, very good. There are none. I agree. Now,
that's
There
okay.
are none. Majority,
Big admission. So how can AIMPLB,
Say Muslim
when it
boy.
hits protests on April 19, claim to represent all Muslims, Atikur Rahman?
yes, I am coming to the point. Let me straight away answer to Mr. Sharik. So far, how many Ashrafs and Sayyids have been lynched by the BJP and the Sangh elements on the issue of Gauraksha? All Pasmanda Quraishi Muslims have been linked by them. And if they are so serious to give the rights to the Pasmanda Muslims, why don't they take up a pilot project
You answered
in
first,
Delhi itself?
Mr. Atiq, you answered
And
my first
tomorrow,
question.
since the-
You have answered my first question. There are
May I
none
complete,
Pasmanda
sir?
Muslims in the
May I
Personal Law Board.
complete,
It
sir?
means it's a 12% representation body.
Let him complete. Let him complete. Go ahead. Please complete, then I move.
Thank you.
I have a lot of ground to cover.
Thank you. Have I said that the All India Muslim Personal Law Board represents the entire length and breadth of Indian Muslims? No. They are an organization. They must be having their own constitution. Why am I responsible or you are responsible for it? You create your own All India Muslim Pasmanda Samaj.
I will.
And you know.
I will.
what the
Thank you.
Pasmanda Samaj
Thank
has
you for
said
the
to the
suggestion.
government last
Thank you
time
for the suggestion.
that
बहुत शुक्रिया.
we do not want any sneh. We need सम्मान. हमें स्नेह नहीं सम्मान चाहिए. ये पसमानदा मुसलमानों ने यहाँ बॉम्बे के अंदर कॉन्फ्रेंस में मुंबई में कहा था. हमें स्नेह नहीं चाहिए, हमें सम्मान चाहिए.
आप वही दे दीजिए, सम्मान ही दे दीजिए. सम्मान कहाँ देते हैं? जुलाओं को जुलट्टा कहते हैं, कसाईयों को कतरा कहते हैं.
Atikur Rahman, you are sort of.
सैयद का लिंचिंग हुआ है.
Atikur Rahman.
सैयद और अशराफ का लिंचिंग बता दीजिए.
उनका कैसे हो जाएगा? मालदार लोग हैं, पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं, गवर्नेंस में हैं, शातिर लोग हैं, शुरू लोग हैं, उनका कैसे हो जाएगा?
वेरी गुड.
लड़ने के लिए आप हमें उतारते हो. हिंदुओं से जाके लड़ो. हम क्यों लड़े?
You are caught
हम
in the
हिंदुस्तानी हैं.
Rahman.
हमारी कौम हिंदुस्तानी है. हम हिंदुस्तानी हैं.
आप फंस गए शारिक साहब. आप फंस गए शारिक साहब.
Okay,
फंसे तो आप हैं. आपने मान लिया. 12% मुसलमान.
Mr. Ansari, hold on. Okay.
टूप मरो आप.
I think what we are.
मुसलमानों को मारा गया है गौरक्षा के नाम पर. सैयद और अशराफ को नहीं
Atikur
मारा
Rahman,
गया.
I have
कबूल कर लिया.
Atikur Rahman, I must say, I have never seen you this agitated ever in any of my debates earlier, There is something in this. You have made two admissions, Atikur Rahman, that there are no Pasmanda Muslims in AIMPLB, by which there is a natural corollary that AIMPLB does not represent a majority of Muslims of the country.
I do not have the names of the All India Muslim Personal Law Board members. I care a damn for them.
But they see, that's the unfortunate part, Atikur Rahman, that's the unfortunate part, Atikur Rahman, that even if you care a damn about them. No, listen, Atikur Rahman. See, the problem is, you care a damn. No, listen.
रक्षा के नाम पर पसमानदा मुसलमानों को मौत की घात किसने उतारा?
Mr. Ansari.
और ये हमारी राइट्स के लिए एंश्योर.
This is for you to answer.
Can I ask something from you, Mr. Atikur Rahman? You are a respected man. I respect your feelings. You are agitated because you have admitted for the first time you are admitting truth on national television. It's very good. I really appreciate on this. Because no Musliman says that there is no one. They say like this and this. There was a one vice chancellor of Darul Uloom, Vastanvi Saab. He was removed because he was a Pasmanda Muslim. There was a very human cry.
Yeah.
The Ashraf Muslims of India, the 12% Ashraf Muslims of India, they are the main issue. They are the main root cause of the misguided.
But he has admitted to that. Let me get
in. One more thing. I'm telling you the historical perspective.
I understood. It's unfortunate because even Atikur Rahman is admitting that AIM-PLB does not represent him. He's saying that I care a damn about them. See, any reasonable voice, Tausif included, Adil Hassan included, would say, okay, fine, this is just one body. They don't represent the entire Muslim community of the country. Yet, when it comes to narrative setting, when it comes to agenda setting, unfortunately, Desh Ratan Nigam, it is the AIM-PLB from the Shah Bano days to now setting the agenda of the Muslim street. Now, where are those?
is not a government body. Waqf boards are government body controlled by state government. AIM-PLB is an NGO, is not a government body. Now,
but the point I am making, Tausif, is that they seem to be punching above their weight. They seem to be literally holding the Muslim community to ransom.
Government is responsible. Madhya Pradesh BJP government is controlling Waqf board. Wherever state government, they are totally controlling the Waqf board. If anyone has grievance against the representation, they can approach the state government. So far, AIM-PLB is concerned, it's an NGO. Whoever, they have their things, they are running various projects and they collect donations. People give donations, they make them part of the NGO. Please do not speak on matters you are not aware of.
Thank you so much, Tausif, for bringing me back to the point that I really wanted to take up with Desh Ratan Nigam. Thank you so much. Tausif, I have to get him. Desh Ratan Nigam is 9:35 and I have not been able to get him. Tausif, please.
Case in High Court against the BJP government. If he comes from Uttar Pradesh, let him file a case in Allahabad High Court against the BJP government and seek a right on the chair, seek an entry in the Waqf board. Government is BJP government is the one in Uttar Pradesh.
Let me take this.
The Waqf board.
Okay,
let not spread disinformation.
Okay. Now let me take this to Desh Ratan Nigam. It's 9:37 and he has not been able to speak. We have had a fantastic conversation. I'll give some time to Desh Ratan Nigam. Hold back for a while, Tausif. I come back to you, Mr. Nigam. Again, as Tausif is saying, this is not a matter in which you should be concerned. He's saying, how can a BJP government decide on what is there or should be there in Waqf board? Because it's something which concerns the Muslim community, the same argument that Adil Hassan gives. Now, a couple of questions. You are a lawyer. Is the parliament does the parliament have the sovereign function to enact laws? It is challenged in the Supreme Court. Should the Supreme Court be allowed to adjudicate on it? Shouldn't the Supreme Court decide what's the constitution and whether what parliament has enacted is constitutional or not? And more importantly, if the Pasmanda Muslims are not represented in the structures as they exist today and the government has brought in this law, why should we treat the voices of Maulana Madni of Jamiyat, of the AIM-PLB and of the AIAMIM as the representative voices, given the fact that Pasmandas constitute a majority of the Muslim community in the country? Desh Ratan Nigam.
Abhishek, in fact, let me answer you one by one, because I've been listening very patiently. Now, Bengal has become a state of sorrow and grief for Hindus. Time and again, and every time Calcutta High Court had to intervene and provide some kind of a relief and give some kind of an independent investigation so that culprits are brought to book. And every time, what we see is first create a violence, then play a victim card. Yes, Parliament is supreme so far as enacting laws are concerned, because our Constitution provides so. Judiciary for redressal of grievances is supreme, and executive for implementing the scheme of the Parliament is supreme. This is the constitutional scheme of things. And if a leader, TMC leader says, Mamata Banerjee, that we will not allow the Waqf Act to be implemented in West Bengal, which means contempt of Parliament, also an anti-India statement, which should be dealt with very strictly by the central government, because that means they do not want to respect the Parliament. They do not want to wait for the judicial outcome from the Supreme Court. This is a very, very serious matter and has to be taken and dealt with very seriously. Now, third, when somebody compares that temples are being run by Hindus, we are not asking that in the mosque management the Hindus should be brought in. There is no question like that. Waqf, nobody is, tampering with the membership of the Waqf. Waqf will have Waqifs and the Mutawalis, who will be a Muslim. However, the grievance redressal mechanism everywhere in India is a secular one. Please remember, Ram Mandir, in Allahabad High Court, Justice Khan had heard one of the judges. Even in Supreme Court, Justice Nazir had heard it. Now the board here, Waqf Board itself had become the investigating authority, then a judge also. That cannot be allowed. You cannot become a judge in your own cause. Therefore, the grievance redressal mechanism is always secular. Even under the Waqf Act, the mechanism is secular. The judicial mechanism is secular. Anybody can deal with it, whether Muslim, Christian, Hindus, Buddhists, Sikh, Jain, Isais. Anybody can be a part of the judicial secular grievance mechanism, which was there in the Ram Mandir case also. There was a Muslim judge also on the bench. Now, the serious question is what should be done today is how to control the rogue state government, which has gone, berserk, not even instructing the policemen to take care of it. The High Court had to intervene to bring in paramilitary forces to control the situation. This is happening every time, whether it is Saraswati Puja or immersion, Durga immersion, or post-poll violence. Please I'll give you n number of examples. The law and order brought under control on the instructions of the judicial mechanism. So today, the supremacy of the parliament, anybody who challenges is doing contempt of parliament, which is punishable. Please remember, parliament has the power to call for that person and punish. To say, and these are very serious matters, and nobody can, dispute that constitutional position. Constitution itself makes parliament supreme to enact the law.
Adil and Atikur Rahman want to come in.
Is parliament
anybody who speaks against it is also committing
any law which does not have a sanction of constitution. Parliament cannot pass any law which does
but
not have a
that
sanction
Murshidabad won't decide,
Tausif.
That would be decided in the Supreme Court. And I am concerned. I am concerned. You should be concerned. You know what? Jamiyat-e-Ulema's president, Maulana Madani, has said today? He has said we are late. We should have started this early. We don't want to wait for the Supreme Court. Then what are you saying? What is constitutionalism? What is Parliament for? What is Supreme Court for? Obviously, this is pre-planned, premeditated, and this is aimed at creating chaos. This is aimed at creating lawlessness. This is planned, conspired, and you are saying this is BJP versus Trinamool?
Where the High Court, where judges are saying that they decide on the basis of astha, where judges' residents will find cash. So we still have faith that Supreme Court will give justice.
Thank you so much.
In this matter.
I would say you are being reasonable and rational. I am saying you are being reasonable and rational, which the likes of Maulana Madani are not. And this is not BJP versus Trinamool. There are some bigger concerns. Every time something like this happens, a narrative is sought to be built that, minorities are being targeted. हम डरे हुए हैं, हमको धमकाया जा रहा है, डराया जा रहा है. If you look at it, what has happened in Nagpur, what has happened in Ujjain, what has happened in Guna, what has happened in Indore, and what is happening in Murshidabad now. Okay, there was provocation, right? And I will come to Ajay Alok on that. But the retaliation happens immediately. There is no fear. Swords come out, stone pelting happens.
May I have 10 seconds?
Sticks come out.
May I have 10
Atikur Rahman, ये डरे हुए का narrative तो बंद हो जाना चाहिए कम से कम.
10 seconds. 10 seconds. Mr. Deshratan Ningam, by your logic, sir, every constitutional body should be secular. So by your logic, in the cabinet and in the parliament, in the BJP, there is no Muslim. There is no Muslim, and you are deciding about such a large amount of lands.
I want to ask this to Ajay Alok. Okay, Ajay Alok answer. Atikur Rahman has raised the point that where are Muslims on your side? How do you engage with them? How do you communicate with them? How do you have dialogue with the Muslim community? Though, of course, Mr. Ansari would say that not with Pasmanda Muslims. Atikur Rahman wants dialogue only with the empowered, rich, privileged Ashraf Muslims. But Ajay Alok, the fact of the matter is that perhaps the BJP is not having enough dialogue with the Muslim community. Also the issue of provocation. I have seen some videos. I can vouch for it that these are absolutely senseless, provocative processions that have taken place in places from Mumbai to Madhya Pradesh to Bengal. I mean, for that at least you have to defend, you have to take responsibility. Ajay Alok.
See, I don't have any objections if anybody is taking out a procession in a democracy.
No, but you can't
It's a
be
very
that
valid
irresponsible
thing to
and
do.
absolutely senseless.
But-
and the kind of provocative slogans
No, no,
that
no.
are done in those processions, it's absolutely abhorrent and unpardonable.
Let me come.
Abhishek.
Exactly.
Abhishek.
That is the point. There was nothing for Waqf at Murshidabad. It was only for Islamic slogans. It was for Palestine. It was for Islamic Raj. They never shouted a slogan in favor of Waqf. Check your archives. That is the point I'm talking about. And secondly, very clearly I'm telling you, right now Tausif was saying, why don't they file case in UP, Gujarat, MP, because there are different Waqf board for every state. Waqf board is an act passed by an act of Parliament 1954. It's a statutory body and Parliament has full right to amend the laws. It has been amended by the Parliament in 64, 95, 2013. Then you kept your mouth shut because it was convenient for you. Because that gave you exemplary power. That you can grab any land. You can use any land and you can say it's a Waqf property.
Adil Hassan,
Waqf by
respond to
user.
this.
It cannot be done.
Adil Hassan, respond to
Now
this.
we want to end this administrative indiscrepancy.
Mr. Arnab,
Now, Mr. Adil Hassan, please explain also. Akbaruddin Owaisi in Vidhan Sabha, he said 80% of Waqf property are under encroachment by influential people of this country. And you know what? Your anti-people says that in Hyderabad, 3,500 crores property is encroached by Owaisi himself. He has constructed malls where he gets rent from.
Respond now. Respond
And there
now.
are all photo pictures pasted on the social
Adil
media.
Hassan, respond now.
Mr. Ajay Alok, you are telling on the national TV we will face defamation case. So better don't bring Owaisi Sahib name in this. You don't know the fact. You don't
Please
go
go
on
ahead.
the YouTube channel.
Please go ahead. I have not said
Check
anything
the
which is
fact
not on the
and
public
come on
domain.
the national TV. Yeah, I will go. I will go. You don't take it lightly. I will
I
go.
have not said anything
You know
which
me
is not
very
in the
well.
public domain.
I know you.
I am not taking anything
Before
lightly.
you file
I'm
defamation,
least scared like
Adil
people
Hassan,
as you.
before you
Okay?
file defamation,
I'm not
contest
trying to
the
threaten me.
point
I know your- I
Either
know
say
your
yes or
history.
no, deny it. You file the
No, I know your
defamation, that's
history.
your
I am
right
not
and
like
privilege.
you.
But counter him with facts.
You don't know
is
me.
he
So
right or
better you
not?
control your tongue and talk properly like an educated
Please
man.
counter him. Is he right or not? Is he wrong,
Talk
right,
like
what?
a gentleman. Don't put all unlegal bayan on the channel. If you are a doctor, behave like a doctor. Behave like a gentleman on a national channel.
No, he is putting across a
I'm
point. You
behaving like
counter
a
it,
gentleman.
Adil
I
Hassan.
said what is there in the social
Do you-
media and the public
Do you
domain.
have facts to counter it, Adil Hassan? He is putting across the
Social
fact
media,
that
you
Waqf
are
has been
don't go to
misused
social
and
media. You are
your leader
from
might be
a-
part of it. You deny it, you put across your counterfacts.
See, Mr. Anchor, don't bring my leader name without knowing any fact. My leader was the only leader in the country who asked for the SIT to the government of Telangana that Waqf.
Your leader, by the way, was also part of the JPC. Your leader, by the way, was also part of the JPC. He has been heard.
One more
So that
thing.
it's not been heard.
Yes. Allow me to speak now. Allow me to speak. The two things I want to tell. In 2007, AIMS Amendment Act was passed. That was struck down by the Supreme Court of the Honorable Supreme Court of the country. Again, NRC law was passed. Same Nitish Kumar, the NDA partner of Ajay Alok, he passed a resolution in the Bihar Assembly that CA will not be implemented in Bihar. We don't want two things in Bihar. One thing more very categorically. It clearly violates Article 14, 25, 26, 29, 30.
But that would not be decided in Murshidabad, Adil Hassan. That would not be decided in a press conference. That would be, for God's sake, decided in the Supreme Court.
Just listen to me. I condemn whatever violence happened in Murshidabad, but Supreme Court 2 days back.
Adil bhai, one question. Adil bhai, one question to you.
Behave like properly, and I am not representative of TMC.
Adilji, one question.
Adilji,
one question.
Yes, please.
Just one question.
पूछिए
Yes.
अजय आलोक.
Okay, just one question from you. Just one question. Shahbanu case was decided by Supreme Court.
फिर क्या हुआ? बताइए आदिल हसन. फिर क्या हुआ?
Why it was turned down by Parliament? Why it was turned down by Parliament? You never believed Supreme Court then?
Allow me to Sabrimila.
And now you don't believe in
Allow me
Parliament?
to speak now.
Don't buy time. Answer.
Sabrimila में Supreme Court ने क्या कहा? Allow me to speak. सबरीमिला में क्या हुआ? सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जजमेंट सबरीमिला मंदिर में क्या हुआ? आपने 1992 में बाबरी
साबरीमाला
आरएसएस बीजेपी ने शपथ सुप्रीम कोर्ट में
आलोक अजय आलोक जवाब दीजिए।
साबरीमाला में आपने क्या किया? आपने साबरीमाला में क्या किया? आपके लिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट है, मेरे लिए नहीं है क्या? मेरे लिए भी सुप्रीम कोर्ट है। हम भी
क्या किया हमने? अरे हमने क्या किया साबरीमाला में? बताइए ना क्या किया हमने? Didn't we respected the Supreme Court?
बताइए बीजेपी का क्या?
Didn't we respected the Supreme Court?
आपने माना क्या?
I think we are digressing. That we are not going to abide by the Supreme Court. We have never said that.
नीतीश कुमार ने पास किया है।
Okay, please pull back. We are digressing. You know.
अरे ब्रदर, सीए में नीतीश कुमार ने पास किया है।
शाबानो, Supreme Court शाबानो।
I want to come back to the Waqf, and I want to come back to Bengal. I want to come back to Murshidabad. Pull back, please. Tausif, you know, what has Waqf protest to do with the kind of looting of shops and malls we have seen? You know, what has Waqf protest to do with targeting of paramilitary forces, and in one case at least even Indian Army? You know, we have Siddiqullah Chaudhary, who's a minister in the Trinamool government, Tausif. You know him. He's heard saying Kolkata Raj Bhavan is Waqf property, Eden Gardens is Waqf property, Calcutta High Court is Waqf property. We have seen the drama in Delhi where the parliament is Waqf property, the IGI airport is Waqf property. You know, where does this stop? I mean, is there some internal dialogue within the community to, you know, take care and do away with these kind of, you know, oxymorons?
No, the whole country is Waqf property because Mughal ruled India. This is the concept.
You see, the fact that Eden Garden or Raj Bhavan being a Waqf property is just a part of the fact and history and record.
Oh, now you say.
Nobody is going to claim.
Now you say.
Where did you get this history from?
Now you say.
Where did you get this history from?
No one is going
now
to
you
give
say.
an eviction notice. Please don't be scared. No one is going to give eviction notice. In any case, Waqf board is
just because Mughal rule India, so everything becomes Waqf, huh?
State government is not going to evict themselves. Is the state government going to issue?
This is the concept. This is what you call Darul Islam. This is what you call Darul Islam.
Why do you hate Muslim? Why do you hate?
That is the hidden intention.
Spokesperson only.
That is the hidden intention. No. For your convenience, you call yourself secular, but inside you are absolutely deeply polarized, radical Muslim Islamists. You are not secular at all.
Tausif, that was a Freudian slip, Tausif. That was a Freudian slip. That was a Freudian slip. But I really want to get in Atikur Rahman and Mr. Sharik Ansari also. Okay.
State government is not going to give a eviction notice to itself and ask the state government or the Eden Garden to evict.
Okay.
So it is what it is.
Okay. So, you know, Tausif, it was a Freudian slip. It was a Freudian slip. You admitted that yes, Eden Gardens can be Waqf property. But okay, I'm leaving it there for you. But I want to get in Mr. Ansari and Atik also before I close. You know, Mr. Ansari, if Eden Gardens is Waqf property, if Parliament is Waqf property, if IGI airport is Waqf property, if Calcutta High Court is Waqf property, then what is the problem if the Waqf is managed in the manner in which it is mentioned in the new law?
See, I want to clarify one thing. Just give me a minute to the Muslim masses.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with Pasmanda and all Muslim masses. I want to, because I was in JPC, I was in the whole law, I have read the law academically. I want to speak in Hindi and Urdu, so जो मुसलमान इस देश के हैं उनको ये मालूम हो जाए ये वक्फ लॉ क्या है। पहली बात तो वक्फ दो तरह के होते हैं, एक तो वक्फ अलल औलाद जो कि 2 से 3% है, और वक्फ अलल खैर जो कि पब्लिक वक्फ है। वक्फ अलल औलाद में इतना करप्शन नहीं है, 0% करप्शन है, लेकिन जो 97 वक्फ % है वो वक्फ अलल खैर है, उसमें सारा करप्शन है। हिंदुस्तान में 32 वक्फ बोर्ड हैं, शिया वक्फ बोर्ड और सुन्नी वक्फ बोर्ड। देखिए ये जो लॉ बना और जो हमने ऑल इंडिया मुस्लिम पसमानदा ने जो अपने सजेशंस और ऑब्जेक्टिव्स दिए गवर्नमेंट को, जो गवर्नमेंट ने माने, अब मैं कह रहा हूँ सिर्फ मैं 1 मिनट में अपनी बात कर दूंगा। ये लॉ सिर्फ मैनेजमेंट के नहीं है, ना कोई मस्जिदें, मदरसे, खानकाहें, इमाम बाड़े, करबला, यतीम खाने, मुसाफिर खाने, जो
ये डर है ना फिर भी कि अगर नॉन मुस्लिम उसमें आएंगे तो फिर जो आपका जो मुस्लिम रिवाज है उसके हिसाब से नहीं होगा।
डर को ही तो मैं क्लियरफाई करने यहाँ बैठा हूँ आपके सामने कि ये कुछ नहीं हो रहा। आप मुसलमानों के पास था, रहेगा, और जो 2% दो आदमी हिंदू आएंगे उसमें, नॉन मुस्लिम
कलेक्टर ओहदे से आ रहे हैं, मतलब हिंदू के हिसाब से नहीं,
लेकिन वो मेजोरिटी तो मुसलमानों की रहेगी मेरे भाई।
बट अतीकुर रहमान, if that be the case, Atikur Rahman, you know, my point is, what is the internal dialogue in the Muslim community? You know, if provocation happens, you get provoked, you come out of the mosque, bring swords, attack the procession. I mean, if you get provoked, you look foolish. Atikur Rahman, where are the elders in the community? Where is the internal dialogue to tell the youngsters, please have restraint? We are gone to the Supreme Court. We will make a strong argument. Atikur Rahman, I mean, this is something which paints the community in bad light.
Absolutely.
Do you understand you are biting the bait?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with you.
Abhishek, Mr. Alok has not answered my question that if all constitutional bodies should be secular in nature and representation, why is there no Muslim member in the cabinet or in the BJP?
Unfortunately, you are deflecting, Atikur Rahman.
Please answer, Mr. Alok. Secondly,
you also got provoked today and you are deflecting.
No, the question, I am answering a question now. Since he skipped my question, I am just reminding him. I am going to every Muslim congregation and telling them, you don't have any right to violence. Violence is not good. The violence part is a monopoly of BJP and RSS. Mr. Advani can take out a Rath Yatra. Only Hindus can climb on the dargahs and the mosques. We don't have a right to create violence.
No victimhood. No, Atikur Rahman. No, this is not the victimhood. Oh, this is. No, I'm not. No.
How shameless you can be.
No, this victimhood, Atikur Rahman, is the bane of the Muslim community, perhaps in the country.
No, how shameless he is. It's not a matter of victimhood.
You know, and
it's a matter of shamelessness.
No.
Even after seeing things on the screen,
I don't know if it is shameless, but this is unfortunate. This victimhood mindset, Atikur Rahman, is not taking your community anywhere.
Don't give him a cover of victimhood. He's shameless.
I have run out of time. Ajay Alok, I have run out of time. Sorry, we had a fantastic conversation, but I have to tell this to Tausif and through Tausif to the Trinamool. You know, Khalilur Rahman is a
longest serving.
Hold on. Khalilur Rahman is a member of parliament of Trinamool Congress. Even his house has been vandalized yesterday. Remember, these mobs, these nameless, faceless
and
mobs.
Where is Yusuf Pathan?
BJP RSS element.
They do not care about niceties like the Constitution of India. They do not care about democracy and politics. They are hoodlums and they need to be treated as such. Mamata government, if it is indulging with them, do not forget that they can come to bite you, like it happened in the case of Khalilur Rahman's residence, who is a Trinamool MP. We are ending it here. Short break, news is back, and of course tomorrow 8 p.m. Arnab Goswami is back with Super Primetime Max, the debate.